Hey everybody, thanks for watching the VSO Gun Channel. I have a little bit of a departure today. A little something doing with this. This is a SIRT pistol. This is basically a laser Glock. If I can hit my screen there, yep, boom, gotcha. This is a dual spectrum Glock. This has the ability to basically do a red and then a green when you go to break. This thing's pretty sweet, but that's actually not the subject of this video. This video is on a software training program that utilizes this SIRT pistol, and that is this L.A.S.R, L-A.S.R training program for Windows-based computers. This thing's pretty sweet. I've been playing with it for about 2 weeks now, and I really can't put it down. It's really kicking my butt in terms of editing time versus play time, and my dry fire practice has been going up quite a bit lately because now I can kind of get in a little bit of a fast-paced training program without having to go out to the range. Now obviously dry fire practice is no substitute for live fire practice, but this can really enhance your dry fire sessions. Without further ado, what I want to do is go ahead and break into this software program and show you guys some of the functions and features of the thing, because this thing is pretty sweet, I'm not gonna lie. So let's hop into it. So one of the things that you have to have obviously with this thing is some kind of laser transmitting device, some kind of SIRT pistol, or maybe one of the bolts for an AR-15, but it's compatible with all laser transmitting devices, which is pretty neat. I like that function. The other thing that it uses that you have to have is a webcam. And right here I have this Logitech on me right now. This thing is doing just fine. And the cool thing about this is it's compatible with just about any webcam that is on the market. It is compatible with Windows-based stuff. So that said, let's hop into the actual software interface. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is hop right into this interface, which is pretty neat actually. It's very deep. And so what you can see here is I have a webcam that I'm waving my hand over right here that is basically capturing everything that's going on behind me. And you can see I have various targets, set up over here on the mantle. We're just gonna go ahead and pick a couple of them real quick. We'll go ahead and do is just keep it basic, use a square here, and we'll just go ahead and make it relatively large there on this wild boar. You can see that's pretty easy. Go ahead and pick this toolbox here as well. And I have them locked right now, so if I were to unlock this, for instance, I can go ahead and edit this, and you can see that I can even turn this. See, this is a little bit crooked here. You can go ahead and turn this guy here as well. And basically what we're doing is basically setting the field by which it's going to use the webcam is going to detect the laser here. So we've got this going on here. That's enough for now. That's pretty basic. Go ahead and relock them so I can't move them around when I'm doing anything else. So while that thing loads, you can see down here is the sweep button. So this is like clear all selections. So if you screw up in the middle of this and you want to stop doing that, you can go ahead and use this section right here, this button right here, to go ahead and sweep those away. This is the calibrate button, so you basically click this and make sure that everything's calibrated to your lighting conditions. I'm trying to run this thing to kind of increase your guys' viewing experience here. I'm trying to run this thing on max resolution, so this might look a little janky, but I'm going to do my best. So let's go over here, and you can see that the, the next step is literally just click the start shooting button.
Shooter ready.
You can see here we've got various options: basic, not timed, call targets, immediate, start, random start with par times, and repetitive things. Let's just go to basic, not timed here, and start shooting. So right now, the timer's literally running. I take my SIRT pistol, and I'm just gonna go ahead and whack this guy right here. And this guy. So you can see here that there are little white dots on this thing where I actually hit, and you can see over here it's got my times, and which target I hit, and the splits, which wasn't recorded because I have it on basic, not timed. So if I go ahead and sweep this and I go to, let's go with random start here, and we'll go ahead and start
shooter
shooting.
ready. Stand by. Threat.
So if I went ahead and do that and go ahead and pause shooting, you can see once again splits over here for the shot time relative to start, as well as the total times and the target hit, which is pretty neat. Now I have this thing set, like I said, on high resolution, so you guys can hardly see these little dots over here. But if I were to go over here into settings, we can take a look at some of the things that we got going on here. This is where it gets super deep. So like I said, I've got the resolution up on max, which makes those dots really small. Webcam I'm using. This is that tone that you guys were hearing, metal impacts. You can have gunshot and metal impacts, beeps, no sound. If you're running like in the middle of the night like I was last night, 4 o'clock in the morning, my girl would have got super pissed off. She had heard gunshots and metal impacts. She probably would have come downstairs with a 12 gauge and wasted me. Hit color, we're gonna go ahead and change this real quick so that you guys can see it a little bit better. Green, selected hit, we're gonna go ahead and turn that to purple so you guys can see what that is. Auto select last hit, obviously that's a function over here. And laser detection. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is change this thing to dual spectrum here. So now this thing will output a red laser when I am in, when I have it, the trigger in reset or staged, and then on the break it'll give me a green. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a laser detection of green, or excuse me, laser detection of, we want it to ignore red. So we're gonna go play with that here in a second. And you know, these are some other administrative functions you can see in here. So we're gonna go ahead and close this and shoot again. We're gonna go ahead and do, we have it set to ignore red, basic not timed, and we'll recal here just to make sure, and start shooting. I'm gonna hover the red over this and then nail it with the green. So hovering red, nailed it with the green. Hovering with the red, nailed it with the green. And you guys can see here, let's, if we zoom in, we can see those green hits here. Once again, if I'm running on max resolution, they get a little bit small. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is, just for the heck of it, pause shooting, clear everything, go back into settings, and if you want to run this thing, say your machine's not quite as powerful as this one that I'm using, we go ahead and bring it up to the recommended settings here. Okay, you can see it gets a little bit fuzzy, but that's okay. And start shooting here. Oh, I never picked that target. Shoot. So now that I've reset this thing, I have to repick my targets here. So we'll just go ahead and pick this guy real quick. Calibrate him. And we'll just move it. Move it real quick. And start shooting. You can see with the resolution drop, you get a little bit larger dots there, so you can see and track what you're doing a little bit easier. As I mentioned, guys, this program is really deep. There are lots of functions on this thing that I have not installed. There are some extra plugins here that you can go and get, like target templates, you know, target scoring, all kinds of things like that that you can activate. And the other thing, you can generate a report here, and you can literally track all of your data in real time. All of your, training profiles that you've generated, you can track over the course of time And these things are all integratable with things like Microsoft Office and the like. The other thing that's really neat about this thing is like constantly being updated by the manufacturers, by the writers of the program, and all those updates come to you guys free whenever this thing gets updated. There's no disk for this thing. You literally go online and download it, and it's ready to run. So that was a look at the L.A.S.R training software system. This thing is pretty neat. As I said before, this thing is completely compatible with any L.A.S.R module system and any webcam. You basically just need a Windows machine to plug it into, and you can roll from there. This thing's pretty neat, and I think that for my own personal application, here in Ohio, we have really hot summers and very cold winters. And some of the time I find myself using dry fire to get that training level up. Obviously, we're out there filming and producing video and stuff like that during those months, but a lot of that time that we are spent on the range is used for filming and not so much training, which kind of sucks. But you know, a lot of the dry fire stuff that can be done indoors, I think this could really, really enhance the way those things are done. You know, with all the versatility in the programming and the various drills that you can run, plus the ability to go through and run a report on all of your data to see how you're doing. I mean, I think it's a very, very viable training aid, and I think this is definitely something that you guys should check out. So that said, links in the description for a direct link to this website so you can check out any of the other information that's out there, and tell Inspector sent you, because this thing is pretty cool. I like it. I think we're gonna have to revisit it here in a little bit after I get really good at it, so that I don't look like such a scrub when I'm running this thing, but it's pretty cool, I have to admit. And I also wanted to give a quick shout out to my buddy John Patton at Patton Media Consulting and the Gun Collective. He runs a awesome news show, and he's the one who told me about this product, and I want to thank him very much for bringing it to my attention. Go over there and check out TGC News. I don't even watch the news anymore because everything I could ever possibly care about happens on that show. That said, thank you guys very much for sticking with us through this entire review. I know it was kind of a software-based review, which can get a little bit monotonous. I tried to run through as fast as I could, and obviously we didn't go through all of the individual functions. So be sure to go online, check out this, check out the L.A.S.R training program at L.A.S.R, L-A.S.R app.com, and of course links in the description. Thanks for watching the VSO Gun Channel. We'll catch you on the next video.